Do you like me? I haven't changed.
Phil is stuck by this claim that people like him now, and he's still sticking by it to today's date. If people didn't like him, why would they be giving him money? I mean, who could hate a guy like this?
No, here's what happened, okay? So I said, wow, I realized I can actually afford nice undershirts that are incredibly comfortable, and that it's more comfortable wearing the majority of these shirts open rather than closed. So because I have enough, I can afford it, I decided to upgrade my wardrobe and have the shirts open. You understand? So because I make good money doing what I do, because people like me and my content, I upgraded my wardrobe because I could afford it. How about you? What do you wear? Paper bags? Hand-me-downs? Where do you get your clothes?
So this is from a month ago. This clip was a little bit on the older side. We're really just going to look at clips from the past couple days here. But who could hate this guy? I mean, he's calling you poor, the guy that struggled his entire life to stay afloat and pay his bills and ask for the audience to pay his electric bill and stuff. He's successful now. So let's take a look.
I got a $1.30 tip here. It's a troll. What's hilarious is that people actually say things like, why would we be jealous of you? Well, let's see. Because at any given moment, I could turn on a camera, I could talk about whatever I want, I could do whatever I want, I could have a good time, and I make a good living doing it, and I'm happy, and I'm married, and I'm successful. You are a loser sitting at home behind your keyboard, typing horrible things about me and my family because you're jealous. Sorry if you can't deal with that, but it's still true. It doesn't matter how much you deny it, it's still true. People are mad that Darkside Phil is successful. They are angry, they're upset. Why would you be upset unless you were jealous? There's literally no other reason. Whether you hate me and like, well, I wish he wasn't successful because I think I should be successful. Well, then go do it for you. Go be successful. Get off my back, you know, but you won't because you're a loser. You just sit there hating on other people who are more successful than you rather than going and doing something for yourself. You're a hater. That's the definition of a hater, okay? I used to be one. All right, place your bets. How many Chinese mobile games will be advertised during this Summer Game Fest because Jeff Keighley needed to take a nice big fat paycheck? Yeah. Yeah. Make them the rich richer, baby. But I grew up. I grew out of it. I don't do that shit anymore. Everyone out there, you know, more power to them. If they're going to be successful or whatever, go for it. You know, just don't bother me. That's the attitude I have. All right. So there you go. But you are jealous of me. If you act like this on the internet all day and you wish the downfall of someone, you're a hater and you're a jealous person. There's no other reason why you would wish someone's downfall besides you're upset that they're successful and you are not. Period.
Before I respond, let's find out why people might hate Darkside Phil. And all I'm going to do is go back like 2 or 3 minutes, maybe 4. I don't know. We're going to go a little bit further back on the stream and just see why people might hate Darkside Phil.
Back of my head says, I'm not contributing for Wendy's. Fuck that shit. Back of my head, you never contributed to begin with. You're a leech and a loser. You're one of these people who just, you knuckle drag, right? Oh, ooga booga. I do what I'm told. Everyone says DSP's bad, so I sit in this chat and I badmouth him. Ooga booga booga. Ooh. So there you go. Anyway.
This is DSP's defense mechanism. When somebody says they don't like the content, DSP gets offended. And when DSP gets offended, he insults you. He does it all the time. Let's bring up another example. So the context here is G.I. Joe Winters was somebody who super chatted Phil earlier and was basically like, here, I'm giving you support today. You were playing Blueprints in some other game, and I didn't really like those, so I didn't support. And Phil got mad at G.I. Joe Winters and said, you could have supported any other game I was playing. And so Phil gave him a condescending response. Here we are. Now Phil is blowing up at other people who are defending this viewer because the guy didn't like a game and didn't support it. Phil is basically attacking these people.
And by the way, Kyle, I didn't bitch out G.I. Joe Winters. The fact that you're saying that in chat means that you're an idiot. I'm going to be honest. You're an idiot. I literally didn't bitch him out. He said something that's factually untrue. He's acting like I played 2 games only. I said, no, that what you're saying is wrong.
This one isn't really Phil blowing up at a specific person, but more so the context behind this was Phil came up with a really, let's call it an afterthought of an idea. He has goals every 10 goals, which is $1,500 that he gets, which he really pushes these goals. He tries to hit one every stream. So he tries to get this $1,500 bulk goal hit every week. People were getting sick of DSP tries it. They were getting sick of him eating fast food. And so Phil came on stream one day and was like, guys, what if I reviewed cologne? And it was like the worst possible idea. He brought up examples. He's like, what is sandalwood? How does anyone know what that smells like? And so he was like, I could break it down. I could show you the box. We could have fun. Like it's the most non-tent you've ever heard of. Like it's not a good idea. He's not the type of streamer that you would go to for any of this content. And this is a reward for his viewers. So his viewers are allowed to choose what they want to see for giving him this money. So Phil comes on stream one day and he gets clowned because nobody liked it. It seemed like he put no thought into it. So he got really defensive, and we're going to pick up where somebody had mentioned the cologne reviews.
He says, why don't we do a trial run of the cologne reviews for the 100? Because people are assholes. That's why, Zangief, because people are complete, dickheads on the internet, and they think that they could try to treat me with mass disrespect, and then I'm going to give them stuff. Well, I'm not. So I had an idea for the cologne reviews. To be honest, I didn't think the cologne review was going to be a very serious thing. I was going to try to ham it up and make it funny, but I thought it would still be informative for certain people. And I said, let's do it, right? No, everyone wants to make fun of me, say it's the worst idea I've ever had, and clown on me. So now people can fucking kiss my ass. I'm not ever going to do it. It doesn't matter how much they ask for it. It's their own fault. They ruined it. You could have had me doing stupid cologne reviews that would have been funny and everyone could have had content, but instead they had to be dicks and toxic morons. So now you get nothing. And it's your fault. You have no one to blame but yourselves for being disrespectful shitbags. So I'm not going to do the cologne review. I refuse.
So he never did one. It was more so he presented an idea. Sometimes the presentation of an idea is the most important part of the fruition of an idea. Because if you present something to somebody and you do a very poor job, they're not going to understand and they're not going to like it. So Phil had all these cool ideas and he was going to ham it up and make it funny. He should have just done it and not announced it. He should have done it on a whim and just saw the reception of it if he really wanted to try it. But when you come on stream and your presentation is boring and nobody cares and it sounds stupid, then this is the response that you're going to get, especially when it sounds like you're just out of ideas for something to do as a reward for your audience. Now, your audience doesn't like it, so now you can all kiss his ass. That's pretty much where we're at with that. All right, let's move on.
No mercy, I'm actually not negative about everything. It's just that people like to be negative towards me, so I respond appropriately. If people are very positive towards me, you'll find me a very positive person.
You're the streamer, so you gotta kind of allow things to roll off your back and just ban the person, time them out. But instead you blow up because you're uncontrollable. Your anger is uncontrollable. And the thing is, if your anger is this uncontrollable towards some random viewer in your chat, what's your home life like? And I know that's really kind of crossing the line for some people. It's like, oh, you're questioning the person's home life. But like, you're on the internet and you're an entertainer, or you're supposed to be an entertainer. But all that gets derailed when somebody questions anything that Phil does. Phil, why are you begging so hard tonight? Why are you asking for money so much? And then he goes off on a tantrum. It's called anger management, Phil, and it's clear that you need some form of counseling because you read these things and you can't zip your lip for a second and just let it roll off your back. Everything is a personal shot at you, and you're just toxic. That's what it is.
I'm just here to have fun and chill with you guys in Minecraft. That's what I'm here for tonight. But you notice people are bringing up negative thing, negative thing, negative thing. It ain't me. That's the audience. The stream goes where the audience wants to go with discussion,
No, you're the streamer. Everybody's watching you on the screen. What are you talking about? The discussion is based on what's going on the screen. And if it's boring, then yes, the audience is going to trail off and derail the stream with their own discussions to be entertained because you lack the entertainment. You are the content. You're the content creator, Phil. Do you not know what a content creator is? You create the content that people consume. It's not you look at your audience and they handhold you through the game. They tell you where to eat at DSP Tries It. They tell you what headsets to buy. They tell you what peripherals you need. They tell you how to set up mods. They tell you how to fix technical issues. They tell you what games to play. Like, your audience does all these things that an audience wouldn't typically do for a streamer because most streamers are perfectly capable of figuring these things out on their own. And how do you reward them? You turn around and charge them a ton of money just to name something on a Minecraft farm. You turn around and charge them $1,500 to watch you eat Burger King in front of them. It could take one person to derail an entire hour of his stream. If you say the right thing, you can derail an entire Darkside Phil stream, and that's what happened last night. And we're not even going to mention the fact that Phil was super giddy last night, as if he was off, the bottles that are right next to my head. He had somebody in his chat, Darkside Dab, and he's been there since, Phil started streaming on Kick. He used to be a mod. Then a whole thing happened where Kino Casino watched his live stream while he was playing fighting games and laughed at him, and he got a lot of trolls, and Phil got so mad, so heated that he shut off his Kick stream and unmodded all these people, and Darkside Dabbing was one of them. So he assumes that Darkside Dabbing was a troll, whatever. This guy stops like an hour of Minecraft content for his entire stream to address Kino Casino, Darkside Dabbing, and all this drama content that he says he's not involved with, he doesn't talk about, he doesn't do drama content anymore, but he takes an hour of his stream last night to talk about drama content.
Far, it would be great to get some great sub support tonight for Minecraft Chill. All right, so now the question you're all waiting for the answer for. Actually, no, I know Darkside Dabbing it. So here's the deal. Darkside Dabbing asked me a question. Darkside Dabbing asked me, do I think that he is a troll? Or do I still think that he is a troll? But the only way to answer that question is to explain the situation, because most of you have no idea who Darkside Dabbing is, nor do you understand why he would even ask me that question, okay? So allow me to explain. As you all know, last year, I did a big crossover thing with the Kino Casino. We went on each other's content several times. We did some crossover gameplay a couple of times. We talked about each other on each side in a very positive manner. Now, overall, we all kind of knew what was really going on. I don't think that either side actually really liked the other side that much, okay? But we realized that doing this crossover event was profitable. It was something different, right?
We realized each side didn't like each other that much. Yeah, okay, Phil, you loved those guys. You'd still be talking to them if they didn't dump you. So pay attention to the timer right below Phil here. That's 7:47 p.m. his time. We're still sitting in the same spot at 7:54.
And here's, what's happening. And, this guy, it's not just you, it's others as well, all right? But that basically, what was shown to me is that most of the mods at that time that I had on the channel were casino fans, and now they were going to start acting badly against me because the casino collab had broken off, and it had broken off badly, right? And because of that, now there's going to be, I'm here to mod, and you just sit back and don't do nothing, right? Oh, I'm not here, what are you talking about, Kind of like leaning back in the lawn chair and saying I'm not going to take any action when there's a fight going on in the street or something like that, right? By the way, I just got smite for what you want. As long as you don't take that toxicity into my content, then I don't give a shit, okay? I just hope that that air is clear. I am not here, I'm a creator, I'm a streamer, I'm not here to police you in your life. If you like the casino, if you like my detractors, whatever, go watch them, I don't give a shit. Just don't bring that to my streams, you know what I'm saying? Don't bring
Still talking about the same thing, hasn't moved, still just fishing mindlessly, because that's pretty much all he does in this game from what I've ever seen.
Bring it to my content. You understand? That's it. So, and that's the thing, like, a lot of people think, oh, Phil categorizes everyone into the troll category. No, I don't. No. Trolls, in my opinion, there's two kinds of trolls, real trolls. Number one, trolls are people who are malicious and want to hurt you just because they can, okay? Not because it actively has, like, oh, this is something I'm doing in a campaign to make someone get better or change their content or be a better person. I just want to elicit pain in someone and get away with it. That's a troll, okay? Someone who just watches my stuff and makes fun, that's not even trolling in my opinion. I don't even think that, okay? Now, the other kind of trolls are professional.
Professional trolls, wow.
The other situation, another spider. This is what of suing and nonsense, okay? That's going to be painful for everyone associated with YouTube in general. Because I don't want to do that. All of a sudden, it's open season on Phil. So now we can say and do whatever we want. We can literally lie, we can take everything out of context. Here, let's take the one moment from Doom where Phil wasn't playing it like Doom because you're not supposed to, because it's a room full of explosive barrels. And so that's how we played the whole game and he sucks to do. Oh, let's take this out of context, let's do that. And these people have not only made a ridiculous amount of money on my back, lying about me and saying these awful things, but also they've gotten tons of internet clout, popularity, likes, clicks, retweets on all their content. Okay? It's completely illegal. 100%, and it could be ended in a moment's notice, but I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not a frivolous lawsuit guy. I don't have the time and money to really be dealing with that, okay? I just don't. I'd much rather sit here and make positive content for you guys, all right? So that's another kind of troll. Someone told me $2 says, was the king snake thing not true? I have told you the truth about everything. Nothing has changed. Everyone who can't handle the truth has tried to spin a new narrative because they can't handle the fact that I was the smartest person in the entire situation the entire fucking time. I got exactly what I wanted out of it. I knew what was going to happen as a result. I knew it wouldn't affect me negatively. I didn't give a shit, and I played it perfectly. But you don't have to believe it. It's fine.
I played it perfectly. Okay, Phil. Keep telling yourself that, buddy. Yep. You were the score index in the situation, and anybody with a brain saw it.
You should have got me a nice fucking sweater or something, But no, I get nothing. These people are ungrateful little shits. Okay. David Cowboy fan, thank you for the $1 tip. Yes, I did see your video, and I kind of understand the situation. I don't even understand what the bad thing about the situation was to begin with. It just seemed like a lot of people trying to get other people in trouble for drama purposes. And if you haven't noticed, I'm not really a drama guy, and I don't give a shit. I literally ignored it for many days, so I don't really
Not a drama guy.
Someone tipped me $2 says, hey, did any professional detractors give you a present for Father's Day? Of course not. I mean, God forbid, think of it this way. If I don't make content, they don't eat. No, really. If I don't make content, they don't eat. So I am their dad. I'm their provider. I am literally the provider for every professional detractor out there. I'm the only reason that there's food on their table on any given day. If I ceased to exist, so would they.
Who do I even start with this? Phil, you're not a provider. You're more like a deer, right? And everybody is a bear or a wolf around you, feeding off your carcass, being able to sustain themselves off your inability to get away from the situation, right? That's what it is. People are eating off of you. You're so easy to talk about because you do greedy things that make people not like you, that you create these bad situations that these people eat off of. It has nothing to do with you being their provider. The thing is, you're not the only lolcow out there. And I'm sorry to tell you, but there's other people that we could go and start watching and start covering. And the reality is, you need the detractors more than they need you. Because without the detractors, you don't get views. You don't get viral clips on the internet. Nothing you put out will go viral. You're Dark Side Phil. The only reason people come check out Dark Side Phil is because something crazy happened this week. And then everyone's going to check out the detractor channels because they're covering it. So, yeah, in some ways you could be right, but your bad decisions allow people to eat. And it's something that you have no control over because you can't help yourself. You can't ever get better as a person. The wolves will forever be feeding on that deer carcass until there's nothing left, right? I mean, that's my thoughts on it anyway.
They literally sit here just to make fun of me, and they hope that I fail. And when I succeed, they can't stand it. Case in point, earlier today, I was playing a new game, Onimusha 2 Remaster. We hit 2 support goals, which basically leapfrogged us ahead, qualified, and we did DSP tries it. Those people were fucking crying and seething and coping. And they were so upset that I got support on my first stream. They couldn't handle it. They started making fun of everyone who supported. They started making excuses for everything. It's like, no, don't you get it, dummies? If people didn't like me at all, they would not support me. Get it? If I was the most hated person on the internet, I wouldn't get the levels of support that I get. I get it because people legit like me and see through the nonsense. Get it? So all of your hatred, all of your anger, your jealousy, your rage at me being successful, it's all a waste of your time. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just, none of it makes any sense that you would even do it because I'm still here and I'm still successful in spite of you and all of your angst.
Listen, Phil, nobody was seething and crying. This is some big fantasy he had to make himself feel better. I mean, listen. He begged and begged and begged to hit the goal for DSP tries it on Tuesday. He really wanted to do it Tuesday so Cat didn't have to cook. He pulled out everything in the book. He tried to get you $20 to name Minecraft animals. He pulled out the 20 badge rule or offer, whatever he calls it, where if you give 20 memberships, he'll give you an OG badge on Kick. Like, he pulled all these stops out and they didn't work. He gets an anonymous $150 tip or something like that. It was somewhere around there. It was so unbelievable that you almost sat there and was like, did this guy even get the tip? Because there's no way to prove it. I mean, you have to go on Phil's words on these. So, so at the end of the day, nobody cares. You probably ended up blowing the money anyway. It's already gone. You got horrible spending habits. We can see that. Well, people like him now. So we're all wrong. Because DSP, in my opinion, is like the equivalent of a world of t-shirts. Josh Block, I believe he's autistic or something. He's got handlers. He basically gets drunk all the time. He crashes out. He chases people down the street. He attacks people. He screams. He gets used by the internet. And it's horrible to watch, but you can't really look away. It's like a train wreck. And that's what people watch for Dark Side Phil, is because he's a train wreck. And the train hasn't stopped crashing. But for a 43-year-old man to even sit here on a stream and say things like this, like, Phil, what about all your rivals? Justin Wong, who's successful and he goes on vacations with his family and he can actually enjoy life and he can live life. What about Jaha, the guy that punked you that's, working out? He's gotten big and he's taking care of himself to live a nice life. What do you got to say? You're a 43-year-old man that sits in your bedroom streaming games for 8 hours a day, 6 days a week, and he can't even take his wife out on a honeymoon. He can't even take care of his wife. He can't even tend to his wife's needs. He gives her back a gaming PC, and it's broken. It's got malware. Whatever the fuck he was looking at on that computer, infected it, and gave it back to her in bad condition. And neither one of them are tech savvy enough to be able to reinstall Windows on it, so the computer is just a bust. What does DSP do? He gives his wife a mini PC that can hardly handle games like American Truck Simulator that she wanted to play. That was the reason she wanted to play on PC. And he goes, here, babe, you can use the mini PC. The guy that's successful, which means he's got money, can't even go and take it to Geek Squad to get his computer fixed because he doesn't have the time or the ability to do it. He makes his wife cook all the time. You know, guys, we need to hit the goal so my wife doesn't have to cook tonight. If we want to do DSP tries it today, we got to know by 4:30 or else we got to get the things out of the freezer to defrost because my wife has to cook tonight. I mean, what a great husband. Anyway, let's see what else he's got to say.
So those people, I know, they don't support me, and they basically just take up space. What they don't realize, don't tell them this. You ready for this? I got a little secret. I got a secret to tell everyone. All right, hold on. Hold on 1 second. This is going to look weird because the lighting is off. All right, but I got a secret. You ready? So what is the best kept secret of me and the trolls that are on my Kick chat? Are you ready for this? Here's the best kept secret. I get paid for them to be there because I'm in the Kick Partner program, and I get paid for every moron who sits in that chat and trolls me.
What a great life, Bill. You get paid $7 a day for people to constantly make fun of you. That, you know, God, if I could trade that any day, it's like a lottery ticket. $7 a day for the rest of your life for people to constantly make fun of you. Great job, Phil. You're really succeeding in life. It's really something to be proud of. You've really made a name for yourself. But doesn't that contradict your own statement where you said people like you, but your entire chat's just full of people in Kick making fun of you? So which is it, Phil?
Shh. Don't tell anyone.
I hope he keeps saying things like this because it's only a matter of time until Kick is like, dude, you can't keep treating our users like this. I mean, like, dude, you just called half your Kick chat morons, but whatever. Who am I? Just because they're LARPing, you know.
Are you guys still LARPing? Are you guys still, they're still LARPing. People are actually complaining. I'm not kidding you. People are complaining again in the Kick chat. What a big coinky dink, right? That I just honestly talked about stuff with the audience. I opened up, I vented a little. We talked honestly about stuff. They don't like that because they can't believe that anything that I say that's not like toxic or stupid would ever be true. So the fact that I just gave an honest answer and Darkside Dabbing was happy with the answer, they don't, oh no, they can't handle that. No, that.
Phil, your retelling of the whole Kino Casino events when everybody watched it unfold in real time, is it the truth? Because the truth is in the video evidence, and what you were saying is not one-to-one with what everybody else actually saw. So this is one of those things where your truth isn't the truth. And let's not forget, Phil is the same person that once said this.
Don't flip that on me because you didn't. You were dishonest with us. And we smelt that.
It's still an answer. It doesn't matter if it's honesty or not. It's still an answer.
This is the guy we're talking about. The guy that has no morals, whose parents clearly failed raising him, to have an upbringing where you don't know right from wrong, where it doesn't matter to you if you give somebody the truth or not, because it's an answer. That's Darkside Phil in a nutshell. And that's where I'm going to leave this one, y'all. Hopefully Darkside Phil can get the help he needs. Otherwise, we're going to see things continue to get worse. Peace, y'all.
It was just hilarious. You could tell that they just like constantly quote this guy. Like they're just fucking infatuated with him. They watch every stream. They listen to every quote about me. They got to repeat it in the chat. I don't even know what PPP says about me because I don't watch their show and I don't listen to the chapter content. But I have to know because they come in and they repeat it every day. Like, don't you feel like maybe that you're a loser? You're just repeating this guy all day, every day. Like, grow up. Ages plus one of their desserts.
Good.
Support the
We're
stream.
gonna get
Let's
there.
get some super
Don't
chats.
worry.
Let's get some
No big
memberships. We
deal.
don't have
Get
any
more
memberships
subs,
today.
guys.
Let's get
What
some
the
tips
fuck?
and let's get some subs. We have no subs.
Let's get
Who's going to be the
some
first
subs,
sub on Kick
cocksuckers.
today? Let's find out right now. Like, no one cares. The guy's a fucking weirdo. No one gives a shit about what he has to fucking say about me, that's for sure. I don't. I mean, if you want to talk about it, go for it. Go talk about it somewhere else. You don't have to talk about it here. You worship the guy like a fucking god or something, the way you just repeat every word he says.